So yes, Dinara, hello. We are live. So I think we have to wait a couple minutes just our viewers can join us. So my first question, how are you doing,
I'm
Dinara?
great. Thank you. How are you?
I'm also fine. Thank you very much, Dinara. So happy to see you.
Yeah, likewise.
So yes, it takes some times. Oh yes, our first guest. Oh my God, other viewers joined us. So yes, so hello, dear friends. Bishkek American Center is welcoming you. Thank you very much for joining our session, and I'm super excited to introduce our guest speaker today, Dinara Auyelbekova. She is former Almaty American Space Director and founder of English Language Learning School in Almaty. So today she will be talking about English language tips and how to travel for free. It's very exciting topic. So thank you very much, Dinara, for accepting the invitation and for your time, for sharing these wonderful strategies and tips. And I think we can start. Now the flow is yours.
Thank you very much, Aida. Hi, everyone. My name is Dinara, and it's very nice to be here with you. Not many people know that actually American Space in Almaty and American Center in Bishkek are sister corners. So among all of other corners, we have a special relationship, and it's my pleasure to be here with you, doing a live for the sister corner of AS Almaty. So to keep things short, I'll talk about learning a language, why it's important, and how to make it's effective. Because I know that many people learn English language for years and they can't use it at all. And after that, we will talk about fully funded opportunities to travel. Many people think that it's some lie, or it's impossible, or it's some trick for people to make you look like a fool. But actually, I've traveled myself in 5 different countries, and I'll show you pictures, and we'll tell you about the selection process. And in the end, I think we will have a short Q&A session. So if you have any questions, I would be happy to answer them. So let's start with tips for learning a language. First, let me tell you about my story. So I was learning English at school, and I think in schools, learning English is everywhere the same. You just do exercises in the book, and you don't speak much, and you don't use it at all. So I also had been going to the courses, like in the language center, and I've been there for 3 years, but I don't think my level was good enough at that time too. But then I was very lucky to enter Nazarbayev University, where English is the main language of instruction. And after 1 year studying only in English and having British and American professors, I was able to speak English fluently. And now I think I have no trouble speaking in English, and it gives me so much opportunities in life. Like being a director at the American Space at the age of 25 is one of them, and it gives me the opportunity to travel, to get good jobs, and to communicate with people almost all over the world. So the first tip, now I'm learning German, and it's very easy for me to understand why you're struggling with English, because now I'm struggling with German too. And I will share some tips on how I was able to overcome these problems of learning a new language. So the first one is remember why are you doing it at the first place. You have to have an intrinsic motivation. I like German music and German rap. I really like how this language sounds, and I feel pleasure in just doing exercises and learning it. And that's why you need to find out why English is not only important. We know, like, it's good for earning more money, it's good for employment, but it doesn't bring you joy, right? Thinking about that, you're like, okay, I have to learn it. I hate it, but I have to learn it, and I'll do it even if I hate it. So you need to have an intrinsic motivation. Like if you have some favorite songs in English, if you have some favorite films in English. And actually, I was knowing English helped me to write a letter to J.K. Rowling and get an answer. So these things I think are very exciting, and understanding that and realizing that many people also find interesting and enjoyable to talk to native speakers and to talk to other people. You can do that too, to help you to keep this motivation and keep this energy of pleasure to learn a language. So I think the first thing is to understand for yourself and be honest with yourself, and find some things that you like in English, and keep using these things to keep you motivated. The second thing is learn every day. Then you'll see the results faster. It's much better to learn 30 or even 20 minutes every day rather than doing it only once a week for 5 hours in a row. So our brain is structured in ways that it's better to divide all the tasks in a small chunks. So learning 20 minutes every day, and then it becomes a habit, and then you don't even have to force yourself to study. It will become a habit, like brushing your teeth. You don't think like, oh, I need to brush my teeth. Should I brush my teeth today? It comes like naturally. So learning process will come naturally. And also it's good because after 1 month, you will see results. If you train like for 20 minutes every day, you'll see results. You can create a challenge with your friends or in your social media and say like, hey guys, let's gather together and learn a language for 20 minutes every day. You can check out for the results of your friends or your peers in the marathon, and they will check up for you. You'll exchange this tips on how you are learning, on how they are learning, and this energy. And I think it's very good to have this support group when you're learning a language, because the studies show that it's the success of some enterprise, of some activity, is 80% higher if you're doing it in a group rather than alone. The next thing is to track your progress. For example, what I do for my German lessons, I shoot a video every week speaking to camera. And then after a month, I see the progress. I can see like in the beginning, I was so bad, and now only after 4 weeks I can speak on like 7 different topics. I'm more fluent and I'm more confident, and tracking progress is very important. And every time I feel down or I don't want to do my German exercises, I'm like, okay, let's see the progress that I had. I learned so many words. I learned so many grammar structures. I learned how to talk on different topics. And seeing this result, it gives me more motivation to study further. This next tip is to change your attitude. If you feel like, oh no, I hate English, I don't want to do it, of course you will be suffering, and of course it won't be as effective as if you said, I love English. It is so exciting. It will bring me so many opportunities. I'll be able to speak to anyone. I'll be able to go to different internships abroad for free, and even like have a job in good company abroad. So changing this attitude and really loving, it's connected with the first tip, but I think attitude is the most important and key thing here. Next important thing is to speak. Speak from the very first lesson. I know it's a Central Asian thing to not to speak in English until you are perfect, until you know all the rules, and until you know for sure that you will not make mistakes. But it's very big mistake. You need to start speaking from the very first lesson, even if it's just like a few words. There are different apps called italki and Hello Talk, where you can practice your English for free with native speakers. For example, you can teach them Kyrgyz or Russian, and they can learn you English. You can use all the internet resources to take to native speakers, and this is very important, to not be shy, not be ashamed of your accent or your mistakes, or many people think like, oh, I don't want to look like a dumb when I speak English. I know I have mistakes and I have this annoying accent. But imagine, what do you think when, for example, foreigners speak Russian or Kyrgyz in Bishkek? Do you think they're dumb, or do you laugh at them? No. you want to support them, you want to help them. And other people who are like normal people, when they see or hear you speaking, they will also support you even if you have some mistakes. So actually, like, people don't care about your accent, and people don't care about your mistakes, because you don't care about others' mistakes. I don't know how to explain it, but just put yourself on the other side. Like, if foreigners speaking Russian, would you laugh at them? Would you think they're stupid? No, the same way they feel about you. So it's very, very important to speak, because you are learning language not for vocabulary, not for grammar. You are learning it to communicate with other people, right? And when you are able to speak, it feels so good. So you want to learn more words, you want to be better, you want to be more fluent, and it also keeps you motivated, and it also pushes you to learn more words and etc. And finally, it's very important to make a list of all the opportunities and things you could do when you finally will be able to speak freely. For example, I really want to sing in some German karaoke in German language, and I imagine it, and it brings me joy. Or I imagine how I'm speaking in German with other people, and I can understand everything. And it also, like, I'm so excited to learn, and so excited to do more exercises. So I think it's enough for the tips, but obviously the most important tip is just to sit and learn and dedicate time to it. Because, like, watching videos like on YouTube, how to learn a language in just 1 week, or watching the broadcast like this, it won't help you until you actually come, sit, and do your work. There is no magic pills, there is no magic way to learn a language. You just need to do it, you just need to practice it, and you just need to make sure that you put enough work. But believe me, it's worth it. Knowing English now, I think it's not even it doesn't give you any advantages. It's just a basic thing. If you want to be successful, if you want to earn more money, if you want to travel the world, you just have to know it. It's not like an option anymore. And in the future, it will get even worse. So you need to think about it now and start learning it. Okay, now we are moving to traveling for free. As I told you, knowing English helped me to have all these amazing opportunities. And now I'm going to show you some pictures, because I think it's more inspiring rather than hearing to my voice when I talk about different opportunities. Okay, sharing screen.
Mhm.
Uh-huh. Can you see my screen?
So 1 second. Oh yes, you can.
Oh,
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
Yes, we can see your screen.
Great. Okay. So here it is. Oops. 1 sec. Here I am in Japan, and this is called the Mirai Program. 1 sec, 1 sec. Oh, here it is.
Mm-hmm.
You can see it, right?
One.
I'm in Japan. You can see it?
Yes, I can
Oh,
see it.
okay, great.
Dinara, don't worry.
This program is called Mirai Program, and it's a cultural exchange program between Japan and other countries. So there were like 150 people from all over Eurasian continent, and we were able to spend 1 week in Japan, and they had like all of our costs fully funded, fully funded opportunity. They covered our flights, they covered our accommodations, they covered our food, they covered different trips, and we visited different corporations, museums. We also had a chance to live in a host family for 2 days, in a real like Japanese family, and it was super exciting, like wearing kimono. It was super exciting opportunity. I met so many amazing people from all over the world. I got to know amazing Japanese culture, and I know that it's like popular now in the for among millennials and among younger people. It's popular to watch anime, and there are many fans of it. So I think for you especially, this is a great opportunity. And one thing you need to know is that when you are applying to the programs like this, you don't need to think like, oh, I don't qualify for this program. For example, my major at the time was leadership in higher education, and the program was only for students who studied political science, economics, and Japanese studies. But I explained why it's important for me to visit Japan and how I'll be able to share my experience. I said that there are two big and cool universities in Japan, and I will be able to learn their experience and go back to Kazakhstan and apply it in my master thesis and apply it in the and share how higher education system is constructed in Japan. So even if it's not exactly your major or exactly your in the scope of your activities, you can adjust and you can explain them why it is important exactly for you to go to this program. I don't know how they are functioning now, and I know that there is quarantine measures everywhere, but I'm sure it gives you actually more competitive advantages. People are not sure, they don't apply for these things, so you need to apply because you have less competition and you can get it, and after the quarantine is over you can travel and go there for free. The next is World Forum for Democracy. It's in Strasbourg, in France. They also had all of our costs covered, like flight, food, accommodation. We lived in a nice dorms, and Strasbourg is a center of many European political and UN associations. So we had this World Forum for Democracy, and here we were talking about inequality in education. The main topic was that, and every year this forum has different topics. I applied several times and I didn't get it, but when it was my topic, like education, I got there, and it was also really, really nice. And I got to taste what it means to be like a journalist. We were doing different reports on that, and it was really, really exciting. So I think it was only for 1 week, but still it was cool. Next is Ukraine, Prague Civil Society. They provide, it's near the museum named after Mikhail Bulgakov, my favorite writer, one of my favorite writers. And this organization, Prague Civil Society, they made accelerator for online courses. So I created an online course in Kazakh language for IELTS preparation. And they chose some projects all over Central Asia and CIS countries, like post-Soviet Union countries. And also they gave grants. And interesting fact, they only gave 8 grants, and 5 grants were taken from people from Kyrgyzstan, because they have so many interesting projects that develop in the local language. So I think it's very exciting, and Kyrgyz people have a lot of chances. So if there are so many people who are taking that grant, I think you can do it too. It was like 2,000 euro for funding for my project, and we also got to spend fully funded trip to Ukraine for 7 days. And I know many people, they don't oh, I don't want to go to Kazakhstan, or I don't want to go to Uzbekistan or Russia. I don't want to go to Soviet countries. I want to go to Europe. But I think it's better to start small, because after this small trips, you can go further and you can build this portfolio, so you can go to any country you find the opportunity to go in. And actually, there are so many. Believe me, I've been in Europe a lot, and I can compare. And actually, Central Asia and former Soviet countries, they have their own specific features, and they have their own nice things that you can explore, and don't neglect them and don't depreciate them. Use all the opportunities that there are available in the market. There are also many programs now for Central Asian countries to bring them together, like Go Viral. I don't know if they fund now participants from other countries, but it's really cool, and you can explore that too and come to Kazakhstan to hang out here. The next is IPIS Summer School. It's in Prague, in Czech Republic, and I got to spend there 5 weeks. I was studying politics and economics in Charles University. This was not fully funded. They funded my accommodation, my food, but they didn't fund my flight to Prague. But I used like Ukrainian Airlines. It's very cheap. No, well, comparing to other airlines, it's cheaper. But still, I got to spend my whole summer in Prague, and we also went to Vienna from there. We went to concentration camps, and it was also very interesting experience, and I loved it. Here I want to mention that you can actually improve your language in this kind of schools too, because I know one guy from the school. He was from Russia, and his English wasn't that good, but he asked his friends to help him out with the application, and he came and improved his language there. So if your language is not that good, also don't be shy and don't be uncertain, and just apply, and then you will see whether you are going to be accepted or not. The next, and I think this is the final one, is CCP Fellowship, Cross Culture Fellowship in Germany. I spent 2 months in Germany last summer, 2019. This is fellowship for people who work in civil society organizations, and they also fund everything. They cover your flight, your insurance, your accommodation, and you also got to work in a small or big organization in Germany, like a host organization. And what was cool about that is that I got to travel a lot in Germany because I had like my Schengen visa. And for weekends, I would go to Italy, to Milan, to Geneva. We had our organization, my host organization, prepared a 1-week trip to Geneva, to Switzerland. Here I am in the front of the UN building, UN headquarters. And it was very, very cool, and I had a lot of fun, and I learned a lot. And I think that was also the reason why I started learning German, because it's hard. Even if I know English, it's hard in Germany without knowing German, and I decided to learn it. Here is my YouTube channel, Dinara Inspires. I share a lot of tips on how to apply to these different opportunities and how to find them. And my Instagram also, you can follow me there. And I also share some tips and my thoughts on how to find opportunities and for free there. So I think that's it from my side. I think it was really fast. I was speaking really fast.
It's okay, Dinara. So 1 minute, second. So wonderful. Thank you very much, Dinara, for your very informative, very useful presentation. I think we can check the questions now. So dear friends, kindly remind you that you can leave your question and comments. So Dinara will answer them now. So the first question for you, Dinara. So where do you find these wonderful opportunities, information about conferences, seminars abroad?
Yeah, so there is one startup in Kazakhstan, and I really like it. It's called newpusti.net. I've write it here. Is it okay? Can you share it somehow, or in the private chat, or should I write it in live comments?
Mm-hmm.
It's good to use this startup website because they are particularly focused on Central Asian region. So it's in Russian, and you can easily access all the opportunities from there. Also, heysuccess.com. It's a startup based in London. Mm-hmm. And this too, you need to get a premium account to pay a small fee in order to get all the opportunities. But there are also some like free opportunities, but not that much. Also, I think it's called Oyo opportunities. If you Google it like that, I think you'll find it. Also, there is a Facebook group. You can just Google scholarships, grants, summer schools, and it will pop up. And there are so many websites now that you can use. And actually, American Corner and like American Embassy is another source. They have a lot of opportunities for you to go to the United States completely for free. We're covering all of your expenses. I know there is like Tech Woman, Opportunity Flex, Fulbright, UGrad. It's like for all the categories, for all genders, for all ages. You can just check out on their website, and I'm sure you also give like information sessions about that. I just don't know why people don't use it. It's very competitive, I know, but if you get it, it's very cool. And also, what I like about the US funded programs is that they also stay in touch with their alumni. So if you're alumni of this program, you can then get a grant for your projects. You will also have a networking session. So it's not like only you went there for free for 1 month and then no one cares about you. They keep this network, at least what I know from like Kazakhstan. I'm sure you have it too. And you can use this opportunity further to find some good connections and to find other opportunities. So yeah, use it. It's like the first and the best thing that you can use is that.
Super. Dinara, thank you very much for sharing these links. So the next question for you. Are there any specific requirements to apply for these programs?
I think there are different requirements for each program. The main one is that you need to do something important for your community. And also, again, the American Space, I think, is a great platform to do that because they have all the resources, they have a space, they have like wonderful staff that can help you out. So even if you help like 5 people, for example, I teach 5 orphans from Bishkek English in the American Corner, and then you can write it in your motivation letter how it changed your life and etc. And then you'll have more opportunities. It's more important than grades because like it's very rarely they ask your grades or they ask your IELTS score. It's more important to have a good personality and to help your community to strive, etc. So I think you can use it for there is lots like also online volunteering programs for now, and when the quarantine will be over, you can just open any club of your interest in the American corner, and then you will be able to have a foundation on which you can build and on which you can go. It's not like, oh, I'm just so cool, please give me the grant and I'll travel for Germany for 2 months for free. No, you actually need to do something. For example, I mentored a team for Technovation Challenge. It's a coding competition for girls, and they won several awards here in Kazakhstan, several grants for developing their app. And I said like in my motivation letter that my leadership, it was only like 5 girls that I mentored. It's not like 100 people that which life I changed in 1 month. It's not like that. I just mentored 5 girls, but it was very important for me and for them, and I learned a lot, and this shows my leadership skills, and you can build on that. Another point is to read the requirements very carefully, because people write general things like, oh, I'm good leader, I'm so responsible, I'm so smart, but you need to prove it with examples. Like, I trained so many people, and here are the results. You need to give numbers, and you need to give specific proof that you are really responsible, that you are a good leader. And at the same time, I don't want you to be stressed, because there is an imposter syndrome going very well, especially among women, that, oh no, I'm not good enough to apply to this program, I'm not cool enough, my English language is not that good. No, just try, because I was rejected about 20 or 30 times before I got to go to Japan. I was crying in my dormitory and thinking why they don't take me? I spent so much on this application. I'm so cool. Why don't you take me? But it didn't stop me. I just kept applying while I didn't finally get in this program in Japan. So you need to make some effort, and you need to apply maybe for several times. But when you got it the first time, then it will be much easier to get it the next times. So yeah, please
Yes,
apply.
I totally agree with you, Dinara. So thank you very much. So the next question for you: what did you like the most in working at Almaty American Space?
That's a very interesting question. I think the most important is that I got to know so many great people there and have so many connections. As you know, American Space is based in Smart Point. It's a co-working space. It's a co-working space in Almaty where different startups and cool tech companies are located. And I got to know many of them, and I got to talk to them. And actually, community means a lot. The people who you talk to, who you work with, it's very important, and it's very important so that they push you further. They don't drag you down. They are smarter than you, they are better than you, and that way you become better too. I think that people are the most amazing part of the American space. But actually, I loved everything about my job. It was very cool. My bosses, the community that we had, the space itself, it was very new. All the networking throughout Central Asia, like I got to know Aida and Daidai, wonderful girls from American Center Bishkek. I also got to go to Vienna to a workshop. It was also very cool. So I think it's like the best place to work in. So yeah, I think I can't explain and count all the things that I got there. But at some point I was just I knew how it's done. I was doing the same things, and I reached my like potential, and I was the director there, so I didn't have any opportunity to grow. That's why I decided to quit, even though it was super hard and it was scary. Everyone's like, oh, you have such an amazing job, why are you quitting? What's wrong with you? Yeah. But like, yeah, I understood that I know everything about that, and
Mhm.
I was just stagnating.
Oh, yes, I think we can just describe the American Space with one word, like family. Yes, it's also like great. Thank you very much for sharing this, Dinara. So we can move to the next question. What books will you recommend to people who are learning English?
I think you need to read the books that you like. For example, I'm a big Harry Potter fan, so I read Harry Potter. Also, like maybe you can start from, if your level is not that advanced yet, you can start from reading books for children, and that way you can build some vocabulary. Also, I know that in the library of the American Center you can get books for different levels, and there are very good books actually. For example, in the American Space Almaty, we had the books from Bill Gates list, and very colorful books that are cost. Actually, these books cost a lot, and you have a great opportunity. And it was so sad for me to watch all these opportunities in the American space, and people just don't use it. They would rather sit in their phones, in their Instagram, rather than use all of these books and read them. But yeah, it's important to read something that you like. If you don't like fiction, you can read some other books. If you don't like boring documentary or like encyclopedia, you can read some children's book. So you just need to find something that's good for you. For example, recently I read the Homecoming, but the Becoming of Michelle Obama, because I really like her. I really love the book too. So it's just a personal preference, I think.
Wow.
But for grammar, the best I think is Murphy grammar book. It's like the
Yes.
best. You can
Also, it's
find it in the internet. You know this book? Yeah, I
yes,
will have it in
I
this
love the
place,
book,
right?
Murphy.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
very
yeah,
cool
yeah,
word.
yeah. Yeah, it's like the best for grammar.
Yes. So, yes, are you a Harry Potter fan?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I am actually. Yeah, I love.
Who's your favorite character?
Mine is the third one. The Prisoner of Azkaban is my favorite. And yours?
Mine also the second and the third.
The second and third? Oh, cool.
Wow. Yes, I'm also like I think that Harry Potter is a magic world. So I die
Yeah.
fan of Harry Potter.
What?
I die. She's
Is
also a
also
fan.
a fan? Oh, cool.
So thank you very much, Dinara. So we can move to the next question. We know that you are good at mentoring youth. So can you please talk about that?
Um, Actually, we don't have this mentality, I think, in Central Asia, and I thought that too. Like, I don't want to spend my free time for free mentoring someone. I would rather like lay down and watch TV, or I would rather earn money during this time. But the thing is that it gives you a lot of experience. First of all, it's very useful in your it will be very useful in your career because mentoring helps you to learn to communicate with people, to learn leadership skills, and it's very very actually hard. It's not like you tell them what you want and they just execute commands. No, it's a very good and safe and small space where when you can train all these things like communication, leadership, teamwork, like emotional intelligence. But at the same time it's also very useful. Like it's like I said, it's useful for your resume, for your work, and you can talk about that in your interview for job or for different programs. But at the same time it's just countless. I don't know how to describe it. You just know it when you do it, and it's very very rewarding. And I have a mentor myself, like my basketball coach, who coached me at university. He is mentoring me and he is helping me a lot in different situations. And this way I want to give back. And now I know why he's doing it, because it's a very rewarding experience. It gives you a lot of joy. It gives you this. People are social creatures. They need to be connected to other people, and showing your mentees grow, or seeing your mentees grow and develop and achieve something in life brings you a lot of like pleasure and satisfaction, and you know that your life is not wasted for free, and that you help someone, and that you help someone, even if it's not like a big thing, even if it's small, it gives a lot of reward and it gives meaning to your life. So
Mhm.
just try it out. But not all people are like that, and it's okay if you don't like to be with people, if you don't like to talk to people and mentor something, it's also fine. Yeah, not everyone has to be like doing like being a leader and communicating and doing social projects. Not like that. You just need to find what you like.
Yes, it's true, Dinara. So how did you find your mentor? I mean, it's important to have mentor in life.
I think it's not like the Sheryl Sandberg in her book Lean In was writing about that. It's not like you just come to a certain person and you're like, "Oh, can you be my mentor?" You
Mm-hmm.
need to. I got my mentor because I was playing in a team. I was playing 3 years competitively, and it was like natural to keep communicating with my coach. And he was American, so he knows these things. He knows about mentoring and the importance of that. But you can just start with asking this person that you want to be your mentor for a coffee, or asking a question. Maybe they say no, but maybe they say yes. Like when I was writing to J.K. Rowling, I didn't know she will answer me, but she did. But so if I didn't try, I wouldn't know if she will answer or not. So just ask them for a coffee and say like, let's meet for a drink or for lunch, and you can ask some questions that interesting, and then you can keep meeting for several times, and after that you can say like, hey, can I ask you some questions? But please don't it's not like your mom or your teacher. You don't
Mm-hmm.
like ask them, oh, can you please find me some internship, or can you please do this and this for me? It's more about like getting advices and getting motivation and support in the times that you need it. And if this person doesn't want to be your mentor, it's also okay. You can just look for another one. Maybe it's not a perfect match for you then. And also you can participate in different programs. For example, there is a mentorship program at Nazarbayev University. There is mentorship program, but this mentorship program is only for alumni in the American Space Almaty. But maybe you can set and launch some programs too in the Americans. Maybe this could be your like project, next project mentorship program. Yeah,
Yeah.
so match it and find it, and yeah.
Yes, it's great. So thank you very much, Dinara. So as we know, you have own YouTube channel. So and recently, well, we also launched our YouTube channel. And would you recommend how to promote it? I mean, your recommendations will be very valuable for us.
Sure, I love to. The first thing is very important to have a nice like a cover page.
Mhm.
So the people, if you notice on my YouTube, I have explanation like 2 words what the video will be about, and I have my face because it attracts people attention.
Mhm.
Faces attracts people attention. If it's just like the cut from the video, it's not as attractive as it is. So I usually take a picture of while shooting a video, and I use Canva to write what it is about and make it like very emotional so that people are like, what is she doing? What is she talking about in this video? She looks like crazy. And they will click your video when they see it in recommendations. The next important thing is to use hashtags, to use the name, like a clickbait name that people will watch. And I also think it's just I love this saying about YouTube that it's not a race, it's a marathon, because people can't get popular in YouTube for years and they give up. But those who endure and those who keep consistently posting the useful content for people, they
Mhm.
got they got like thousands of dollars of revenue from YouTube monetization. And it's very important. Consistency is very important too. So you have to post at least once a week. It has to be good quality video. It has to be a good quality audio. It has to be very useful, like structured content. I would recommend watching Marina Mogilka. She is a YouTuber who has 3 channels. She has like a million subscriber channel in Russian, million subscriber channel in English, and another third channel in English where she has like maybe 500,000 subscribers. So she gives a lot of useful advices. I was participating in her webinar. I think she has a webinar soon free, and you can get a lot of insights. But yeah, it's this is I think this is all for YouTube. But it's I love this platform. It's very exciting because your video can be there for 3 years, and then it can like pop up and you can get like a million of views. Because in Instagram, your posts are going down and there is no search opportunity, and your post will be forgotten. But not on YouTube. It will be there like forever, and people can access it anytime. And you also got monetization. How cool is that? You can get money from that, and it's actually very good. You just download the videos, and after a certain amount of subscribers you get monetization. So subscribe to my channel, guys. Don't forget about that.
Yes, thank you very much for your recommendations, Dinara. So we definitely use them. So let's ask the next question. What is the role of sports in your life?
Oh. As you can see, I like different things. And yeah, my area of interest is very diverse. It's like traveling, books, sports, and education, and everything. German language. I think sport is very important in everyone's life, and I played for my university basketball team for 3 years, and it was like one of the best things that happened in my life, because it only not only helps to your health because you are getting healthier, your brain works better because it gets lots of oxygen, and it's also very useful for your mental health too, because I know that, for example, when I don't get as ill as often,
Mhm.
I don't get ill as often as other people because I'm doing sports, or I never have problems with my health because I'm doing sports, and I have all these people who I can play everywhere. Like when I was in the training in Vienna, I was playing with guys who just speak German, and I didn't know anything in German, and you can play like anywhere in the world, and people are like, they don't care who are you, they just need you to play ball and to handle the ball. Or like I play with the small children in my neighborhood, I teach them basketball now. So sport is very, very important because it can give you all those opportunities, like playing with anyone, building these connections too. For example, me and my teammates were still in touch, we're helping each other. And actually one of the girls from basketball team sent me the link for the American Space Director vacancy, and that's how I got this job. Yeah, so it's amazing how it works, but like yeah, and like this opportunity to go to Japan, it was also sent by one of my teammates. So she just sent it to me, and I applied and get in.
Yeah.
So it brings you numerous of advantages. Just find a sport that you like. I tried different sports. I tried CrossFit. I tried running, and running is so popular, but I just realized that I hate it. I don't like running just for running. Yeah, I'm like, oh, when this will end, when I'll just finish it. But when I play basketball, I don't notice how I run. I don't notice how time flies. I'm like, I thought it's like 1 minute. It's been an hour that I'm playing. So I just need to keep looking for different sports and find the sports that you enjoy. And if everyone, like CrossFit was very popular at one time, running marathons is popular now, or certain sports are popular, but if you don't like them, just don't do them. Just find something that you like and that you enjoy, and then you won't force yourself to go to the practices. It will be like very easy for you.
Mm. So you're a very multi-talented person, Dinara. Great. Thank you very much. So the next question: how did you come with the idea of teaching IELTS in Kazakh language?
Um, I just noticed that there is no content in Kazakh language at all.
Mhm.
So I knew like how to teach IELTS. That was my thing that I know to do how to do, and I just did it. And I actually had a crowdfunding for that. That's also one of the useful things that you can use too if you have ideas for social projects. You can use crowdfunding platform, and I raised some money to shoot these videos in a professional manner. And yeah, I don't know Kazakh actually. I don't speak Kazakh very well. I speak with accent, but it didn't stop me. I just thought that it's important to give the content for people in Kazakhstan and in Kazakh language, and I just did it. Also, I have many relatives living in the villages, and obviously they don't have educational centers or books, and they don't have any opportunity to study for IELTS or learn English. But online they can do it, and they can do it in Kazakh language. So, yeah, that's how it popped up in my mind, and yeah.
It's great. So, Dinar, it was our last question.
Oh,
I think that you are a source of inspiration and motivation. So, thank you very much. It was wonderful, amazing session, and we were happy to have you here in our session. And also, I'm also happy personally that I know you. Thank you very much. So, and also, I want to thank our viewers for your questions, for your comments. And I think it's time to say goodbye. So, have a great evening, dear friends, and Dinara, you too.
thank
So,
you very much for inviting. It was pleasure. Thank you very much for watching. Have a nice day.
have a nice day. Bye. Oh,
Bye.
I almost forgot. See you at 6 o'clock.
Yeah, come back to use all of the resources from Bishkek Center.